When buying a new PC, there's one component that is very important, and if you get this component wrong, you will mess up the level of performance in your system and potentially bottleneck your PC. That component is the CPU. For that reason, I will show you the best price to performance value gaming CPUs in 2024 to pair with amazing graphics cards. And I will also show you the level of performance that you can expect from each one of them. You will find the links to these value CPUs down in the video description. My name is Valentino. With that being said, let's start. The first CPU is one of the best value mid-range CPUs out there that you can actually pair with many GPUs in the entire market, and that is the i5-12400F. This is a 6-core processor that's going to be ideal if you are working with a tight budget and you want to play esports games 240 plus FPS at 1080p resolution. The reason why this CPU is so great is because of its price. It used to be around $140, but right now it's going for $110, and it's been this way for a couple of months now. Honestly, I absolutely love this CPU for the price because of the level of performance that you are getting and the fact that you can pair it with many graphics cards in the market. The maximum GPU I would pair this CPU with is the RX 7900G RE RTX 4070 Super from Nvidia. I wouldn't go anything past that because at that point you are hitting a wall. The CPU is just not going to be good enough for any GPU that's better depending on the game and the settings that you want to play. Now, the ideal graphics card for this CPU is the RX 6750 XT or RTX 4060. Both of these GPUs are going to be perfect for this CPU, no bottlenecks, and you will be achieving a very strong level of gaming performance when it comes to 1080p high FPS, high demanding games, and also 1440p resolution. Now, if you have a bit of extra money to spend, I highly recommend you considering one from AliExpress, and that is the Ryzen 5 7500F. This one is amazing when it comes to price to performance if you are willing to buy from AliExpress, because it's $130 and you are on the AM5 platform, which means that if down the line you want to upgrade your CPU, you can just swap the CPU and you will not have to upgrade your motherboard if your motherboard is decent enough. Having that upgradability option down the line is amazing, and the good thing about the 7500F as well is that you will get DDR5 memory. This is a better CPU than the last one. However, even though it's only $30 more, you have to keep in mind that the motherboard is going to be a bit more expensive than the Intel motherboard, and so is the memory kit. So if you are working with a very tight budget, this might not be ideal for you, but if you are willing to spend around $50 to $100 more, this is a much better option, and you can pair it with more graphics cards in the market. The maximum graphics card I would pair with the Ryzen 5 7500F is the RX 7900 XTX from AMD or RTX 4080 Super from Nvidia. These are some of the highest end graphics cards out there, and this CPU will not bottleneck those graphics cards, especially if you will be playing at the highest 4K resolution, which is ideal for these two GPUs. However, the ideal graphics cards are the RX 7900G RE or RTX 4070 Super. Both of these graphics cards are amazing when it comes to 1440p resolution on ultra settings. You can also play at 1080p very high FPS, and you can play at 4K depending on the game and depending on the settings. With the 7500F, you can average around 360 plus FPS when it comes to esports shooters, 1080p or 1440p resolution. Feel free to buy a 1440p 360Hz monitor or a 1080p one. Now, if you do not want to buy from AliExpress and you want to buy inside of the US, I recommend you spending a bit more and going for the Ryzen 5 7600. This is basically the same CPU as the 7500F, just slightly faster, very power efficient, and is also from the AM5 platform. So it has all the features that I mentioned from the 7500F. Now, the ideal value GPU is the same as the last one in the 4070 Super or 7900G RE, and the maximum graphics card that I would pair with this CPU is the same as the 7500F in the RTX 4080 Super or RX 7900 XTX. Now, if you want to do content creation alongside gaming, then I recommend you going for the i5 13600K instead. This CPU has more cores than the Ryzen one and is known to be better for content creation and productivity work. If that's the case for you and you want to spend about the same amount of money, just go for the 13600K. It's also slightly faster when it comes to gaming performance, but you will not notice it because the difference is just basically non-existent. And I have the i5 13600K myself in my personal PC, which is the one that you are seeing right there, and it's been amazing. I've had it for 2 years and I am not looking to replace it, and I have it paired with the RTX 4070 Ti Super, which is a very nice graphics card for 1440p and 4K resolution. However, the maximum and ideal GPUs are the same as the Ryzen 5 7600 just because they perform about the same. The maximum graphics card is the 7900 XTX or 4080 Super, and the ideal GPU is the 4070 Super or 7900 GRE. Now, if you want to play with the highest end graphics card in the market, or at least have the option to upgrade up to the fastest GPU in the market, then I recommend you getting the fastest CPU in the market. This one is the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is faster than CPUs like the i9-13900K, which is going for around $500 USD, or the 14900K. On top of that, it is very power efficient, especially compared to those i9 CPUs that are definitely not power efficient and they are having stability issues. The 7800 XD is amazing. You can actually cool it down with an air CPU cooler, and the price, even though it's not cheap, it is very nice compared to other high-end CPUs in the market. Right now, the 7800 X3D is going for around $360, which again is not cheap, but it's definitely much better compared to i9 CPUs or even the Ryzen 9 7950 X3D, which is supposed to be the fastest one from AMD, but it is actually the same as the 7800 X3D. Now, the ideal GPU for this graphics card is the RX 7900 XT or RTX 4070 Ti Super, but you can pair it up to the RTX 4090, as I said before, the fastest graphics card in the market, or RX 7900 XTX from AMD. So there's no limit when it comes to this CPU in terms of graphics card performance, and you can pair it with any GPU in the entire market. However, there's one thing that you must know before buying one of these CPUs, and that is that you could be bottlenecking your PC with any other component. So if you don't want that to happen to you, I highly recommend you watching my video on the best complete PC builds with no bottlenecks for every budget and every resolution in the top right of the screen. And if you need my personal PC help, that's going to be the top link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.